It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
I knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another presentation of the Mystic Racing League, the KAYTEE IndyCar Series, from the streets of Chicago. Another street circuit, number 2 on the schedule, Long Beach 4 weeks ago. Now we find ourselves up in the Midwest. I'm your broadcast team tonight. Morgan Cook, commentator and producer. We're bringing you all the action right here on V-Speed. If you haven't already, take an opportunity to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the racing action. Drop a comment too. Let's chat throughout this endeavor as we try and put some laps down here at a very bumpy, very difficult racetrack on the coast of the Great Lakes. Chicago Street Course opened back in 2023. It was developed right here on iRacing before it was put into production by cordoning off the streets, of course, with those barricades you see, and sending NASCAR around this facility for a couple years in a row. 12 corners make up this racetrack. Hard braking zone for the left-hander into 1, right-hander for 2, back 90 degrees. Kink for 3 and 4, another right-hander 90-degree corner for 5, long speed section down there into the left-hander in 6, then another right-hand 90-degree corner for 7, fountain section 8, 9, 10, the bumpiest part of the racetrack, another 90-degree for 11, and 12 brings you back to start-finish here, this racetrack, which is pretty much flat. A couple elevation changes, especially down 6 to 7, as well as 2 through 5. It's going to be an interesting race tonight. A lot of difficult corners here. It looks easy. It is anything but. So we're going to get down trackside to meet your drivers, see where your favorite driver is going to start the race this evening. On the pole, Luke Barnes in the 04. Devin Curl will start in the second position. Third tonight will be Noah Hubbard in the number 4. Number 4 will start third here. Corey Kobe is going to start fourth in the 86. Fifth position on the grid, Jonathan Gacheri in the 5, in the 8. Seth Heyman will start in 6th in the 30. 7th will be Steven Addison in the 81. Brad Nelson starts 8th in the 33. 9th will be Mason Mitchum, doesn't take a time in the 3. John Stillard in the 5 will start in 10th, also no time. Adam Holston with no time will start at 11th. 7th Hawthorne will start in 12th. 13th for Christian Barnes, Zachary King starts alongside his good buddy. 15th for Reggie Kime, Devin Lyons will start 16th, and that is going to round out your grid here tonight. Drivers already have motors wound up and ready to go. Look at your iRacing safety car. So we're parked on the front stretch, about ready to get these cars rolling around this full pace lap here in Chicago. Let's look at race analysis while we take that opportunity. 45 laps is what we have for the scheduled distance. Pit road limiter is enabled. Pit road speed doesn't particularly matter because you do have a button that will limit your speed, so you don't have to worry about speeding on pit road so long as you hit the enabler in time. And not during race pace, so you'll blow the thing up. Definitely don't want to do that. That would be silly. 4 tire sets available. You are simply not going to use them all tonight. You will use 1 set of tires. Well, 2 sets of them when you start on, 1 more later. Because you can one-stop this race. Fuel is 22 to 24 laps. Obviously, that is essentially half of 45. You should be able to one-stop this with a fair amount of certainty. 2 faster pairs. Remember back to Long Beach, that race only had a handful of cars left running at the end. That will not be the problem here today, hopefully, as we have 2 faster pairs for every single driver. And we're on the iRacing fixed setups, as we have seen all season in this series. One note, there is no dedicated setup for this racetrack in this car combination. So we have to use the base setup, which as parts of this racetrack have been very, very bumpy. This setup is very stiff, especially, as I mentioned earlier, through the fountain section, which is 8 through 10, I believe. You're going to see a lot of cars get out of shape there under braking, under acceleration, under cornering, because the setup is so rigid. There is pretty much your entire field in the frame. Weaving back and forth to get some heat into those tires. Barnes and Curl on the front row. That's Luke Barnes and Devin Curl. Both have been fast all season. Think back to Long Beach. We saw Luke Barnes run very, very well there, as well as 7 Hawthorne, who was in this race. Started a little further back in 12th position. Who is going to make hay, so to speak, at this racetrack? Who's going to find the speed? Who is going to struggle tonight? All questions that will be answered shortly, 45 laps time, or even before then, in the case of struggles. Only a couple of corners left, working through 10. This is 11, beside the parking entrance. Then into turn number 12. Pace car will pull off here in mere moments. And we will hand the field to Luke Barnes and Devin Curl, and they will get this thing underway. Pace car off the racetrack. Green flag up in the air. And we are racing in Chicago. Few drivers miss braking zones already. Mason Mitchum's heavily involved. Oh, big damage to the back of that car. A lot of drivers really struggling here. Oh, issues. Devin Lyons having problems. Hawthorne's already gained a bunch of spots. Let's go back to the restart, or the initial start here. Let's see what happened to Mitchum. See, that car is... Oh, yeah, we have big problems here. Go back a little further. Very hurt. That car was destroyed. As Devin Lyons is a meatball as well, we'll have to go back and see what happened to the 24. This is, again, the initial start. Not missing anything up front. So there's that blue car we're looking at. Contact from Lyons hitting the back by Holston. And we'll ride on board with Lyons for a little while longer here. Yeah, Holston loses part of the nose. Mitchum loses the rear wing. Definitely a rough start for those drivers. And there's contact with Lyons, and Holston loses part of Lyons' car. As Mitchum now has the meatball. Again, we're rewatching the first lap here. We will get back to live action as quick as we can. Once we see what happened here. 24 really struggling. Back to Mitchum here. I think he probably had to... There it is. That's where that meatball flag came from. And Lyons, but probably similar spot. Yeah, that car definitely just not driving as well as he needs it to. Brad T. Nelson with an issue. We'll find this one here in a moment. Hard part about these road course races is getting that first lap and catching all of the carnage that we see and then getting everything back righted here. We saw Brad Nelson's a lot of spots here in short order. Let's see if we can figure out where that came from. He just overdrove that corner. Yeah, absolutely. Did a phenomenal job not making that worse. He really saved that car, actually. That is heads-up driving by Brad Nelson. You see drivers miss a braking zone like that and then just continue to lock it up and sail it into the corner. Obviously not the case there. Did a really good job of not making that car any damage. Reggie Kime meatball flag. That's a tough time for the Kime time. Here on the replay through the very bumpy fountain section. Was it 11? Was it 10? Already working lap 3 of this one. It was turn 11. Got him. Oh, issue for the leader, Luke Barnes. As well as Mason Mitchum again. What is going on here? That's what happened to the leader. Quick overdrive into 6. What about, oh, Mitchum, big crash in the fountain section. The replay of that. Just got the car fixed, too. Let's ride on board to the Halo. So much carnage already. I was told before the race started this was going to be a very chaotic race, and it has not disappointed. We've, I think, watched a total of half a lap under green. Already seen about 5 meatballs. There's that bump. Yeah, such a big bump there. Mitchum takes a big lick. That car now leaving the pit lane for the second time today. Kime still has not hit pit road. Lyons just now getting to pit road. Hubbard, your leader, with Devin Curl all over the rear wing. Little wall contact there as we get into the fountain section. Drivers trying to avoid that mistake that we just saw Mitchum make by going a little bit wider through that semicircle section. So let's watch how rough this racetrack is for a full lap. On board here with Devin Curl. A lot of racetrack being used. Every bump wants to rip the wheel right out of your hands. Biggest elevation change over the bridge right here. Lock up for your leader, that's Hubbard. This is where it gets real bad though. Look how bumpy this racetrack is. Now Curl really good in the braking zones, losing a little bit of time off the corner. As Seven Hawthorne has gone from 12th up 9 spots to 3rd in just 5 laps. Remember, we will have no scheduled stops, no stages, likely no full course cautions unless we see something really outrageous, which we have yet to see. This pass here, Heyman over Kobe. So we're going straight to 45 with no stops. You just have to make the pit stops. The one pit stop likely. Some drivers have already made a couple. Barnes has made one for that fast repair. Mitchum's made 2 for his 2 fast repairs. Lyons made 2 for his 2 fast repairs. Reggie Kime still on pit road, going the long route for the repairs. Hawthorne trying to bully Devin Curl aside. Oh, there is contact. Oh my goodness. Elbows out racing here in the streets of Chicago. See what Hawthorne says about that. Seen this driver be very aggressive on road courses. A lot of speed in the 18. Heyman's going to drop a spot. Back to Kobe. This little battle, here's the best battle on the racetrack. A lot of cars lined up here. That's Corey Kobe in 4th, all the way back to Christian Barnes in 8th, nose to tail. Including Heyman, Kacheri, and King. All lined up. Then Luke Barnes trying to make a move on Steven Addison. There's a pass. That's for 9th. And Heyman again goes around Kobe, and here comes Kacheri. They'll race down the back stretch from, oh, big issues for Kobe. He hit something. What was it? Oh, already missing the nose piece there. Oh, see, that's where Heyman got past. A little further back here. So Heyman's already well up front. See Kobe losing the nose piece here somewhere. Probably into 11 like we saw with Kime. Yeah, that's exactly where it was. And then that's the same place Heyman had his issue. Very interesting. Very different problems for those two drivers to have happen in the same spot. As King tries to get around the 8. The 8 with damage now. Where does King go? He's going to try and make an aggressive move here. He's going to put the 8 in a bad spot. Oh, somehow made it through. Barnes going to follow King right on through. Curl gets passed by Hawthorne. Little wall scrape there for Curl. Nothing to write home about. Ooh, Hawthorne missed the corner on exit. Curl with the drag race down into 12. Opportunity to pass. Pass completed. King with a problem. Meatball flag. Oh, he heavily damaged that The old 5-1 on the red tires. We'll need to make repairs. Oh yeah, just nosed it in there. Yeah, car in heavy damage. Hits pit road finally. We'll take a fast repair here. Back on the racetrack, I imagine. Noah Hubbard has stepped out. 1.8 seconds ahead of the field. Hawthorne running second. Pearl trying to keep him honest in third. Best battle, it was for the moment, Luke Barnes over Corey Kobe. Of course, Kobe still has that heavy nose damage, will not be nearly as fast as Barnes is. As the 8 just disappeared for a moment. Oh, he's back. There he is. So look at Brad Nelson trying to make a move on Adam Holston. Holston again with that damage. Same as we've seen a lot of drivers with, and there goes Nelson. Making up for that earlier spin. Ten laps into 45 already. We're ripping through this one. John Stillard passes for 12th. Another one of the VLR cars. Along with Mason Mitchum, who is having a rough start to this one. One lap down. Already used both of the quick repairs. Doesn't have any more opportunities to crash the car without being out of the race. Really going to have to be smooth and smart the rest of the way. I believe racing against Reggie Kime, who is 5 laps down. Last car running. Devin Lyons has elected to quit the session. Oh my goodness, that was a heck of a squeeze for some reason down the front stretch. Who knows? This battle has been intense. Hawthorne trying to hold off Curl. As Barnes with the problem. Luke Barnes with an issue. Heavy damage on that car. We've seen this story a few times. Didn't slow down and boom. Clipped the barrier, the Noah Gregson line. Took off the front tire. Christian Barnes now trying to make a move on Seth Heyman. That would be for the 4th spot. See what the old 2.7's got for us. Quietly just minding his business. Zachary King with a second meatball flag. Just fixed the first one. Oh, and there goes the other car. Is that Holston? It is Holston. Something happened here that destroyed a couple cars. Yeah, there's King. Already with major damage. It's like a near carbon copy of the first time this happened. There's the second incident. There's your top 3. How does Holston factor into this? Holston just spin on his own? What happened to the 98? Running a Breaking Bad scheme. That's a new one. Just looped it on his own. Interesting. A lot of drivers putting on the red sets if they've already been down the pit lane. There's Stillard letting leaders by. Stellard letting leaders by, I should say. Halfway through the first fuel run. Heyman gets passed this time by Christian Barnes. Little strategy update for you. Tire compounds on the screen for you. Primary, that is the slower, harder white compound. alternate, that is the faster, softer red compound. So only two drivers in the top 10 running the alternates. What they started on, that would be Gacheri in 6th and Stellard in the 10th spot. Neither of those drivers made a pit stop yet. Everyone else in the top 10, the other 8, they're all on the primary setup, the slower setup. They'll put the fast ones on at the end and see what kind of noise they can make here. Because you got to run both compounds or else you get a 1-lap penalty, which will, of course, take you out of the running to win the race if you're in that sort of situation, as it were. Mitchum again. Another problem for one of the fastest drivers here. The 3-car again into that turn 6 barrier, and that will end the day for Mason Mitchum. Another driver who's left the session, Luke Barnes. A bit surprising to see him out of the race at this point. They will both join Devin Lyons behind the wall, being the only 3 drivers to retire from this one. Reggie Kime is 5 laps down, still running. Noah Hubbard is now under fire from 7 Hawthorne. Aggressive dive into the corner. 7 gains a lot of time. The first half of the corner. And then Hubbard evens out the second half of the corner. So you look right there. A lot of time gained. Another one at that moment. This is down the long backstretch. Oh, here comes the move, potentially elected not to. Might be on push to pass. Crossover incoming, possibly. Well, he looked for it on the inside, couldn't find it. Oh, big moment for Hubbard. And now Curl's back in the action. These 3 snake through the fountain section. Down to 11. Short shoot over the bridge. Power down to 12. And get a good launch here because this is a long front straightaway. Issue for John Stellard. Not sure where it was, just know that it happened here recently. Oh, it's got out of the way. Let Christian Barnes go through. Battle for the lead. Here comes Hawthorne. To the inside, will take the lead away for the moment. Hubbard fights back. Oh, big block to the inside. Does he stick the nose in? No. Oh, Hawthorne into the wall. Hawthorne noses into the outside wall. Potentially wheel damage for the 18. Just after they take the lead, they have nose damage for sure. Meatball flag. Race impacting move into that corner. As Curl catches a little bit of the wall on the exit. Even the top 3 having struggles. Hawthorne sits out another lap. While this unfolds, I don't know how much time we're going to have for driver cams, considering the rate of fast repairs being used. Have a look at our driver cam driver of the day. That would be, of course, Zachary King, as always. Running 11th. Last car running who isn't 6 laps down. Have used both fast repairs. So any other mistakes will likely end him behind the wall for the day. Difficult racetrack. You can see the focus. He's also on the reds. Trying to make speed up early, obviously, with the 2 fast repairs used. It's really anything you can do. You're grasping at straws to find speed at this point because you put yourself behind by so many seconds, if not minutes. He's already a lap down by having contact with the walls or other cars or whatever have you. So it's going to be difficult to get back into this one. So put the reds on, see what kind of speed you can get just past halfway, put the whites on, and then run to the finish. Is likely going to be the strategy here. As he hits the wall again. And that is probably going to put a damper on the experience here for the rest of the day with the nose damage. We'll have to pit to get that repaired here in short order. Your driver cam driver, Zachary King, here today. Appreciate him and all the other driver cam drivers from throughout all of the series we cover here on V-Speed for giving us the opportunity to run on board with them and see what they got going on, both in the sim and wherever they reside, wherever they run the sim at. Usually it's their home. Sometimes could be, I suppose, like a simcade, something like that, like a sim arcade. I don't know if I do league races on a sim arcade, though. That'd be a bold experience. Let me know in the comments. Anyone ever done that? You ever done a league race, or an official race for that matter, on a sim racing arcade machine at like a sim cafe, that sort of idea, where it's not your home setup? Has that ever happened to you? Be curious. Noah Hubbard leads the way. 18 laps into this one. 7 Hawthorne has peeled down pit road to get the fast repair. There's that wing back on. Not out of it by any stretch, but definitely a damper put on it. Should be 6 or so laps away from hitting the pits as well. Hawthorne throws the reds on, the alternates. Oh, curl into the wall, trying to avoid Hubbard. A little too hard on the brake pedal there. Did a great job, though, avoiding Hubbard. Through that rough carousel. Fountain, not a carousel, section. Get my Watkins Glen and mixed up here. Or Road America, for that matter. Gapped him a little bit there. 4/10 between first and second that time by. No real battles on the racetrack. Hawthorne, I think, just had an issue. Again. Potentially just cold tires. Had a pretty big gap back to the 8. Not sure where this would have come from. Oh, just a spin. Cold tires, spin middle of the racetrack. Driver's got around him. Able to do a burnout. Get it turned back around. And that will make it even a little bit harder to get back up to the point, losing some more time. Interesting, he's between 2 cars with identical damage. Cherry and Kobe both missing the left side of that front wing. But running 5th and 7th, so clearly that damage not impacting them in terms of attrition as they stay on the racetrack. Adam Holston has also chosen to retire the car for today. Richie Kime has used one of his fast repairs. Still has one in the pocket. Brad Nelson with meatball flag. Happened before this? Is it right here? No. Had this one for a while, it looks like. Oh, the 8's got one now, too. Little further back here. We're going to find this. My goodness, Brad. Where was it? How long have you been running like this for? More time. Well, unfortunate for Brad Nelson. See what happened to the 8. Yeah, he definitely found that one fairly recently. Back one more. There we go. Racing with 7. think this is just a case of not enough downforce into the corner. Made it work there. Maybe the next one can get it wound up in time. Yes. Nailed that wall. Brad Nelson has now fixed the car. Cherry just entering the pit box. Curl on pit road. This one's scheduled. It must be scheduled, right? It seems a little early, though. Maybe they couldn't make it on fuel. Maybe they do have to stop it. So potentially then, if that's the case for two-stopping it, it would look something like this. You would do the long stint to start with the primary tires, the whites. Throw the reds on for a fast stint. Run them until they degrade. Then put the whites back on, or the reds, depending how far you've gone, and cut it in half, or move that slider, essentially, for wherever that pit stop is, to make the most speed. So it's really going to depend on how far the reds can go here. If they can only go 8 laps, throw the whites back on and finish. If they can go 12 laps, if they can go 13, 14, 15 laps, put reds on again and go to the end, because it'll be much faster, in theory, than if you just put the whites on. Minimize time in the box, minimize time going slower than your optimal, of course, is how you're going to run the best strategy here. So you can see the bumps just so difficult to navigate. Car bouncing all over the racetrack. As Hubbard stays out, working the 22nd lap of the race. Once he hits start finish line, we will be at halfway. Right on board with your leader. A little push to pass there. He's got 188 seconds of OTS left, so still plenty in the bank. If you want to know how torrid the pace has been and how bad the attrition has been, there are 6 drivers on the lead lap, and a lap takes just under 1:20 seconds here. Should tell you what you need to know. As Hubbard just put the fast lap of the day down. So clearly not worried about fuel. Should be able to pit this time by and make it on the one stop. I don't know if Curl realized that or not. Potentially just getting worse mileage. Hard to say what's up with the 15. Richie Kime getting passed by 3rd place. Kime 7 laps down. Some other drivers in the race we haven't really mentioned. John Stellard in 10th. Steven Addison running in the 9th position. Solid run for the 81. Cherry is 8th in the 8th. Brad Nelson in 7th, right in front. Who got damage again? He just got the car fixed. Good, for goodness sakes. Corey Kobe in 6th, also with the front end damage. Hawthorne's in 5th. Heyman quietly in the 4th spot. Curl is 3rd. Barnes in 2nd. Been very clean, no drama for the 27. He's up 11, the biggest mover of the day. And then Hubbard, of course, your leader, who's on pit road now. This should be scheduled, be able to make it to halfway from here. Does Barnes pit this time as well? Yes. Should hand the lead back. No, maybe not hand the lead back to Curl. I think Curl could help it. Oh, Curl lost the nose. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Had the nose here. No meatball somehow for Curl, but... Oh, Gacheri lost the nose. Didn't realize it. Oh, contact up into the fence. Bunny hopped that IndyCar into the wall, lost the entire front end. Oh, man, that is a heartbreaker for Curl, who had a shot to win. Have to get that one repaired. Heyman stays out, takes over 2nd. Barnes is on pit road. He will fall back to 4th. Hubbard in and away. Still up by 12 seconds. Make that 11 now as he missed that corner ever so slightly. Wild, wild race so far in this one. Just past halfway. Got Curl with another meatball. He just pit to fix damage. What happened to Curl? Oh, the first corner out of pit road. Damages the left front. It's gone from bad to worse for the 15. Heyman on pit road. We'll give second back to Hawthorne, who of course will have to pit at least one more time in this one. Only driver to not pit yet is Corey Kobe, who still has the nose damage and is still making up decent time. In third now. Seth Heyman drops a lap down. What happened? Speeding potentially? Let's see here. Could be. I don't think so, but not sure what else would cause. Oh, now we're back. We're back now. Just a timing and scoring issue. Oh, and he wrecked the car. Oh, no. Oh, boy. We come back from replay, and that car is destroyed. Meatball flag. He's having such a great day. On the reds, trying to make up some time. And just a spin in the first corner. Same thing we saw with Curl. And just destroyed the car. And now he's going to make it all the way back with a tire that is barely hanging on. Probably not going to turn here. Not particularly. Well, what a race. More contact. What a race we've seen so far. Drivers to not use a fast repair and also not need one at the current moment. Noah Hubbard. Corey Kobe. That's the list. Steven Addison, I should say, as well on that list, as is John Stellard. Everyone else has either used a fast repair or, in the case of Seth Heyman, desperately needs one. You got to turn to pit road. That's a success story. We'll lose a lot of time here. If you're wondering, Noah Hubbard still leads the race. Is definitely in the catbird seat on strategy. Only having to pit one more time in this one. Hawthorne will have to pit at least... Sorry. Hubbard probably doesn't have to pit. He's probably done pitting unless the tires degrade to a point where you can't run on him anymore. Hawthorne has to pit one more time for fuel. Kobe can make it. Oh, and Kobe crashed too. Oh, no. I was going to say Corey Kobe could make it with no more stops, and then we found ourselves in the wall. So far, so good. Here, yes, it was. It was there through the fountain section. Made to pit road. That will put all but two drivers on the lead lap. Or on a lap down, sorry. Hubbard and Hawthorne, only two drivers on the lead lap. Everybody else is one or more laps off the pace. So from Barnes in third all the way down to Stellard in 11th are 1 lap down. Time is 7 laps down, everyone else out of the race. And I believe Stellar's about to go 2 down. I think I just saw the leader in frame. Yes, there's the leader. So 2 down, not out of the question. For some drivers. Close in on 15 laps to go. We're getting ever so close to it. Devin Curl has elected to retire from the event. Something happened to the 15. Not sure what it was, though. There we are. Remember, was up in the top 3, running excellent. Potentially just a connection problem for Devin Curl, actually. Looks like it was. Oh, there's the fountain. How nice. Oh, a few drivers with issues. Brad Nelson with a problem. Same with Kacheri. Replay button getting a workout today. Oh my goodness. Did not quite stick as well as it did the first time around. We'll go back and see what happened to the 8 in just a moment. 33 first. This is down through 4 and 5. So the damage into 6. Should see here just a lot of extra speed into this corner. And there was no chance that was going to make it. Now we'll see what happened to the 8. Similar part of the racetrack, might also be into 6. I would venture a guess that it is also into turn 6. Corey Kobe with a little 4-wheel slide behind him. Oh, Hawthorne meatball flag. Yes, it was into 6. What happened to Hawthorne? And by the way, that means only 1 driver in the lead lap. That's Noah Hubbard. Everyone else a lap behind the leader. So far, so good. Don't see anything wrong so far with the 18. Through 12. Yeah, no harm, no foul there. Maybe into 1. Hard braking zone. Yeah, oh, that car did not slow down at all. Oh my goodness, what a thunderous hit. Almost like a throttle hung or something. Wow, what a violent collision. I think Hawthorne's done for the day. Kobe chases Kacheri. Well, this race, I think you can fairly safely say, is Noah Hubbard to lose. There is nobody within a single lap, which is 1 minute and 17-ish seconds. No one within a lap of your current leader can make it to the end on fuel. All they have to do is not crash the car. And there's your leader. Trying to put another driver 2 laps down. That would be the 6th place. Kacheri. There it is. Top 5. I should say 4th or 2nd through 5th. 1 lap down. Leader, of course, on the lead lap. Leader must have been the lead lap, or else it would be the lead lap, obviously. What a carnage-filled day. We thought that Long Beach was wild. This race, even with 2 fast repairs, has seen everybody but the leader and Steven Addison crash. And how about Steven Addison? Running 3rd right now, will have to pit again to make it to the end on fuel, but nonetheless should be able to keep a top 5 spot even with that pit stop. So I want to give a big shout out here to Steven Addison. Consistency does pay the bills some days, and today looks like it might be one of them. Closest battle on the racetrack is about 1 second between 7th and 8th. The 8 and the 86. Let's see if any ground is made up here. This got worked around by Christian Barnes in 2nd. So now drivers out of the race, if you're curious. Brad Nelson, Devin Curl, Adam Holston, Luke Barnes, Mason Mitchum, Devin Lyons. Oh, issue for the 8. What happened there? Saw Barnes involved as well. Kind of an odd incident. Potentially Kime. Yeah, Kime blocking the whole racetrack, naturally. Oh, it was, oh my goodness. Somehow split the middle there, did a good job not making it worse. And now Stellar going to be hot on the tail. Now the best battle on the racetrack is between 8th and 9th. Stellar chasing down Kacheri. Oh, Hawthorne again with damage. That's probably going to end the day for this 4-7 in the 18. Day gone from great to putrid. Go over the bridge into 7. Yes, 7. Yeah, and got that wall in a hurry. This is probably the hardest corner on the racetrack, is my opinion, is this one right here. But that will likely end the day, as fast repairs have already been used. Both of them for the 18. As Heyman has caught up to Steven Addison. Addison had a little bit of a moment. No damage, just a bit of a slower lap. See if we get any fireworks out of this battle for 3rd. This will be the podium spot. Close in on 10 laps remaining. From a wild ride. Reggie Kime meatball flag. There's Addison getting out of the way. We'll let Hawthorne by. Not Hawthorne. We'll let Heyman by. Yeah, Kime big time damaged that car. Yeah, locked him up and then nosed it in anyway. We got King and Addison on pit road. Dueling pit stops for 4th and 5th. There's King. They get lapped by Hubbard. That leaves 2 drivers 1 lap down. Barnes in 2nd, Heyman in 3rd. Now, if you're wondering, this is not the first time here on V-Speed that we have seen a driver lap the field to win. This is also not the first time we've seen it in the Mystic Racing League. It happened about a year ago at Lime Rock in the Truck Series. We saw Andrew Allen lap the entire field. Jacob Cochran finished 2nd that day. Put an absolute whipping on the field. And there were stages in that race and everything. Today, no such stages. Just so far, 35 green laps here for Noah Hubbard. The only driver on the lead lap, and one of 3 drivers to not use a fast repair yet. Hubbard, Addison, and Stellard have not used a fast repair. Zachary King meatball off of pit road. That car is killed. Oh, he really hurt it. Oh my goodness. Watch him off pit road here. That will be a day ender more than likely for King. We even try to get those things heated up. Will it be into the first corner as we've seen so many times today? Down in turn, no, not even into turn 2. Wow. Off of the accelerator. Spun around, crashed the car. Oh, and he crashed again. with no rear wing down into 6. Let's go on board. Try and get it accelerated. Can't get it to go anywhere. He's got nothing. This is going to be the slowest spin you see today. Still would hurt, but not a terribly fast spin. Another driver will be out of the race. That will leave about 7 cars left. I believe Reggie Keimer's retired for the day as well. I see him up in race control here in Discord, so likely not going to continue in this one. Good battle here. Addison trying to hold off Corey Kobe. This is for 4th. Both drivers 2 laps down, trying to be the first driver 2 laps down. What does Kobe have for the 81? Not making up much time here, trying. Just not quite enough. Losing a little bit of time here. Addison starting to leg it out a little bit. Maintaining 4th. These drivers about 30 seconds behind Seth Heyman, who's now working through that 3, 4, 5 section. Whereas these drivers are now just working through turn 12, about half a lap down. Noah Hubbard continues to show the way. Barnes is 2nd. Really no competition because he has a full lap over Heyman. Heyman I should say, is 3rd. Addison in 4th. See Corey Kobe right behind him in 5th. Cherry is 6th. Stellard in 7th. Last driver running is King, Hawthorne, Nelson, Curl, Kime, Holston, Barnes, Mitchum, and Lyons are out of the race. One second, the gap between 4th and 5th. Only battle within 30 seconds on the racetrack. Shouldn't say that. This battle also includes Gutierrez and Stellar, technically. They're both within that part of the racetrack. So not a battle in an oval sense, as they are well apart from each other. Yeah, I'm not sure in the chat if we quite understand what road course racing is. Just because one car can't keep it on the racetrack does not mean they need a full course yellow for it. Seth Heyman trying to run some qualifying-esque laps. Christian Barnes is as fast as your leader. They're both running 15.2s. Just, I mean, if you're on the same pace, so you're not going to be able to catch them, of course. I think Barnes would be very happy with 2nd should it play out this way with only 5 laps to go. Barnes could unlap himself. That's not out of the realm of possibility because there's Hubbard entering 2 and Barnes entering 1. Not that far apart from each other. But of course, that's only a moral victory. It doesn't help for points or anything. It's just a noted sort of situation. These two can't get away from each other. Kobe's still trying to get around Addison. It's right on board a lap with your leader. See just how much you still fight in the wheel. Like this, even as the leader, not easy to drive. It's been fast all day. Definitely one of the top 3 cars here. Just has been clean. I think that's the important part, right? Is no damage, no time penalties. Able to keep this thing going. Almost every corner seems to be a first gear corner here. Second down to first, I believe. There it is. Going to keep momentum up and be able to really accelerate up off the corner. That's the goal. Very easy to lock up here. We've seen a lot of drivers have issues. And then down into this corner, see the most issues today. Tons of drivers losing the front nose. Mountain section's been a problem. Turn 11 has been a menace for people. And then turn 12 has been surprisingly calm for most drivers today. Haven't had really an issue yet down here in 12. There is your lap around this facility. That brings us to 4 laps left. Four more laps. Seven drivers left running after a field of 16 take the green. Not the most thrilling race you'll ever see. That is likely. Unless it's the first one you've ever seen, in which case, probably you are excited. Hopefully you'll stick around for a lot more. Once again, to remind you, you're here on V-Speed. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so there's a moment of the racing action. Drop a comment for me if you like. Just a few laps to go in this one. I've been Morgan Cook, your host and producer. One-man show up here in the booth. So we watch Noah Hubbard complete the last final laps of what has been a dominant effort today. Led 39 of what would be the 42, now coming to 43 laps that we've gone around here. Actually, 42 complete, so he's led all but 2 of them. Which I believe those 2 were led by Hawthorne. No, it must have been Curl. Who led the other 2? I'm confused. Now we have to find them. I could have swore that saw another driver lead some laps, but I guess not. Very interesting. So find out later. No Hubbard, regardless. Incredible race. Christian Barnes, Seth Heyman, still many, many seconds apart. If everything finishes the way it looks like, they should finish second and third fairly easily. Kobe and Addison have sorted out their differences by a large margin, in fact. Kacheri now getting around Addison, who has started to struggle here recently. Addison a little ways off the pace. Might be tire deg. Not sure exactly what the problem is there. Regardless, doesn't have much farther to fall. Only one driver behind him still running. That's John Steller, back in 7th. But the battle for that spot's not over yet. Potentially could be taken. as Hubbard working down the long backstretch, taking the white flag in about half a lap's time. What more can you say about it? I mean, just an absolutely dominant effort. Absolutely put it on drivers tonight. Played the strategy properly. One stopped it. No mistakes on the racetrack. Through turn number 12 for the second to last time. We'll capture the white flag. Noah Hubbard has one more lap to put an absolute licking on the field here today. Will become the second driver here on V-Speed in the Mystic Racing League to, oh, Stephen Addison hard into the wall. Oh my goodness. The 81 went up finishing 7th in this one. Anyway, back to Hubbard. Will become the second driver on V-Speed in the Mystic Racing League to win the race by lapping the field through the very difficult 7. Does it perfectly like he's done all night long. Through 8, 9, and 10. The treacherous and very bumpy turn 11, little wall contact, not going to slow him down. Over the bridge. The final corner of the night into turn number 12. Slides through the corner. And your winner tonight will be Noah Hubbard here in Chicago. Dominant day. Christian Barnes has finished his race as well, waiting on the other 4 drivers to cross the finish line. "43 out of 45 laps led." Not sure where the other 2 went. I thought they were Curl, but I could be wrong. Corey Kobe has completed the race. Cherry, Addison, waiting on Heyman. There's Stellard. 1 driver left. Seth Heyman. You will see some burnouts here for Noah Hubbard on the front stretch. There we are. Every driver has crossed our finish. We should see one heck of a celebration here. Oh, we caught the wall for the first time today. Maybe a little damage on that car. See if we get it burned down here on the front stretch. Congratulations to Noah Hubbard here in this one. Let's have a look at our results. Noah Hubbard going to claim the victory here by over 1 lap over Christian Barnes. Seth Heyman will finish in the 3rd position. We'll talk with those 3 in just a few. Corey Kobe going to finish in 4th, 2 laps down. Cherry in that same lap, finish in 5th. Stellard in 6th. Addison in 7th, 3 laps down. King, first driver to retire, in 8th. Hawthorne in the 9th spot, 14 down. Nelson will finish top 10, 17 laps behind the pace. Curl, who ran very well all day, will finish in 11th. Reggie Kime in 12th. Holston 13th. Barnes in the 14th spot. Mitchum in 15th after a very rough start. And Devin Lyons will finish 16th, 42 laps off the pace. Well, let's catch up with our top 3 finishers here in just a moment. Start off with Seth Heyman. Seth, Morgan up in the booth, you got a copy?
We got a copy.
All right, P3 here today. Wild ride for you. Used one of your two fast repairs, which is tied for second most fast repairs used, if you're keeping track at home. And I mean, this racetrack clearly was tough on all the drivers tonight. Why don't you just tell me a little bit about it and what was so difficult about it?
There was a lot. The track was very bumpy. I mean, coming out of the statue section, felt like you're flying into the wall. But
Still there, Seth?
yeah, I'm here.
So I had a bit of a connection issue there. I think we lost you for a moment. Had issues through the same section you said. Sorry, the statue section, the fountain section. You said very bumpy
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this racetrack. Was there anything else?
No, other than that, I mean, I didn't have a problem anywhere else. It was pretty nice.
Right on, right on. Well, you started back in sixth, worked your way up just simply through attrition as well as a little bit of raw pace there. And with the lap of a 15:71, you ran a pretty quick, fast lap compared to the rest of the field here. Were you confident coming into this race, or was this more of just a I'm going to do my best, hopefully not hit anything, and see where we shake out?
Yeah, I was coming in this race hoping hoping to go wrong. Just no practice. Haven't used this combo before. I thought it was going to go a lot worse than it did.
Well, clearly went okay for you. And next time you come here, what are you going to be prepared? How are you going to be more prepared than you were this time around?
Hopefully, I joined to do a little bit more practice.
That would be a good idea, probably. And while we got you up here, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for a podium finish here at a very difficult road course on the streets of Chicago?
I'd like to shout out my sponsor, Dubby. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Short and sweet. Thank you for your time, Seth. Congratulations on P3. We'll catch you next time out. All right, we move up to the second position. That would, of course, be Christian Barnes. Christian, Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy? All right, started in the 13th position. You were the biggest mover of the day. You had speed. What happened in qualifying?
Yeah, I just spun both my qualifying laps. I guess I was pushing just a little bit much harder than I needed to, and unfortunately, I just bent it. So yeah, that was completely on me. I screwed myself up.
Even still, I mean, obviously with a great finish, doesn't particularly matter how that qualifying one ended up, but you knew you had. I assume you knew you had speed, as you do pretty much every week on every racetrack, every car combination we run. Usually, you're up at top 5, top 10 driver. I imagine you had that same kind of speed today that you at least felt that you could get back up there under race pace.
Yeah, I felt like I was just as fast as those top three that were battling it out, and um, I was like so annoyed in the car. Once I got to fourth, I was just so annoyed because they were just so far up, and I knew it was going to be nearly impossible for me to catch them. Um, but I know the at least two of them kind of took themselves out, and then I decided to do the same exact thing after I pitted, and Noah, he ran a clean race. He didn't have any issues. So I mean, if anybody deserved to win, it was him.
So twofold question for you here, both kind of on the mindset of behind the wheel. You mentioned you got up to fourth and you were a little frustrated because you couldn't, because those guys gapped you by a ways based on you having to get to the field and all of that. So how difficult is it for you, or do you even do this switch where you go from attack to protect, knowing that you're not going to be able to make it up on pace? Let's just keep doing what we're doing. And then how do you do that same thing once you have the incident, like you said, off of pit road where you crashed the car? How do you even do that again and say, we've dug ourselves a hole. We have to get it back, but it's not all going to be in one corner or one lap. It's got to be, incremental. How do you kind of pull yourself back or in yourself in to be able to do that?
Yeah, it's usually sometimes hard to do because like everybody wants to win and you want to get the absolute best position as you possibly can. But that whole first run, I was pushing, and I would make up time in like one section, and then the next section I'd lose it. So I was just basically balancing out every couple laps. So it was kind of hard. And then once I spun it coming off of pit road, at that point I was like, I'm just going to take what I can get, and that's whenever I kind of stopped pushing. And luckily, second place was there, so I was able to get second. At that point, I mean, there's no catching the leader unless he wrecks, so there's no reason for me to crash the car again, trying to push to get him.
Last question before we get to your shout outs and things. In a race like this, where Noah Hubbard was so dominant, does this feel like a second is still a winner sort of thing, or is it still just second is what it is here at the Chicago Street Course?
Yeah, I mean, second's honestly kind of a win for me, especially starting all the way in the back. So it definitely helps with the overall point standings. I think I was coming in third, so it should definitely help a lot.
Right on. And who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for second spot here at the streets of Chicago?
I definitely want to thank Zach King and Meatball. I want to thank Gilbert Fleets, Advanced Work Vans, Gem Blossom Designs, K1 Speed, and Ideal Pest.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Christian, and congratulations. We'll catch you next time out here in the KAYTEE IndyCar Series.
See you.
Now let's move down to Sofa News Victory Lane with our winner, Noah Hubbard. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, you put it on him today. Started in third, led all but 2 laps. I can't remember who led those other 2 laps, if it was Curl. I think it was Curl.
That was my teammate Luke Barnes.
Barnes. It was Barnes. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Well, Noah, you were the only driver to finish on the lap you did, of course. Not use a fast repair. There's only one other driver who did not use a fast repair at all tonight. And you were also bad fast. So what was it like? What did you do differently than everybody else here to be both fast and clean?
To be honest, I really don't know. I'd never ran IndyCar on a road course till I loaded into the practice session and ran about 5 laps, and I was slow. And yeah, somehow managed to qualify third, and I was just riding. And my teammate Luke wrecked, and I ended up in the lead there. And me and Seven and I think it was Devin, we were all pretty close there. And I'm not quite sure what happened to them, but yeah, I know whenever I came off the pit stop, everybody was like, I was the only one on the lead lap. And I'm like, shoot, I'm just going to ride. And that's all I did the final 20 laps after my pit stop. I just cruised around about second off what I'd been running, other than the final 4 laps. I tried just to set the fastest lap each lap, which I did. But yeah, so I just tried to keep it clean.
Well, for never seeing the racetrack, never being in an IndyCar on a road course, I mean, that's an unbelievable accomplishment to be able to go out here, not only not hit anything hard enough to give you damage. I mean, you scrape the odd wall here and there. This is a narrow racetrack, and that's all fine. But to not wreck the car requiring a quick repair or any real damage repair, and to set the fast lap by what was almost a second over Christian Barnes. He ran a 13.4. He ran a 14.3, so you got 9/10 on him. I mean, that is just wild, wild stuff. I mean, I got to ask, how long have you been on the sim? Do you do other road racing of any kind? Like, where does this road speed come from? Is it short track stuff? Like, kind of what translates, do you think, to your success here tonight?
I've been on the sim for probably about 4 years now, but I mostly run oval stuff. But like Chicago, I'm pretty familiar with because I'll run all the NASCAR stuff on road courses.
Sure.
So I was pretty familiar with Chicago, but it's still a lot different with IndyCar, especially with like braking points and how deep you can drive it and stuff like that. So, but no, I really don't run a bunch of road unless it's like NASCAR stuff or just tracks I know very well.
Yeah, understood. And you are the second driver I've seen on V-Speed in the Mystic Racing League to lap the field en route to victory than what happened at Lime Rock about a year ago. So congratulations on that. You enter a Hall of Fame of sorts to be able to do that. Quite an accomplishment. While we got you up here, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for just an absolute kicking here today as you gave the field?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my teammate Luke Barnes, who wrecked on lap 3, and Barnes Performance Engines for another fast car.
Yeah, definitely was fast here tonight. Well, congratulations, Noah. We'll see you next time out here in the KAYTEE IndyCar Series.
All right, thank you. See you.
You bet. Thank you to Sofa News for sponsoring Victory Lane once again this week. That was race winner Noah Hubbard. Well, I'm sure most drivers are going to be thankful to hear this. That is going to do it for us here tonight for the Mystic Racing League and the KAYTEE IndyCar Series here from the streets of Chicago. That is going to be a wrap. If you enjoyed what you saw here tonight, or even if you didn't, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the racing action. I've been your host and producer, Morgan Cook. Hopefully you have enjoyed what you've seen in front of you here today. Got to thank the entire Mystic Racing League as well as KAYTEE for sponsoring. And of course, all the admins for making this possible, the drivers for showing up and running the race, and all the fans at home who watch this one from start to finish. I have no doubts. Catch you next time, right here on V-Speed.